Today's video is about trauma, and this is not to be misunderstood or mistaken for professional advice or professional therapy. It's just one person's understanding. So when it comes to trauma, people kind of mistake it for being afraid. They say things like, oh boy, that scary movie really traumatized Jimmy, and it might have. Or Jimmy might have just decided that I don't like scary movies, it's just not my cup of tea. But either way, that's not going to impact his life very much. But in reality, trauma is more like breaking a bone in your leg. You know that there's some kind of pain in there for you, but you really don't know the bone's broken. So over time, you can get used to the pain. Or the pain seems to just go away completely, but the effects linger. You might end up favoring that leg and developing a slight limp. And some people even dress up the limp to make it look distinctive and kind of cool. But some people resign themselves to just simply not put too much weight on that leg. And they might normalize it by saying things like, I'm just a right-sided person, I'm stronger on that side of my body. But sometimes the pain just becomes unnoticeable. But because the source has never been healed or addressed, the effects remain, and whether they're very noticeable to that person or not, typically over time, they get worse. They can't be ignored. So sometimes a person finds great difficulty in just being functional. Case in point, people who have trust issues, people who shy away from building relationships, people with anger issues, sleep issues, low self-esteem, shame, and guilt. The effect of certain traumas, such as sexual abuse, can result in any of the above issues because of the way that traumas injure the mind, so to speak. It can change the way a person perceives the world or themselves. We'll talk more about that in another video. When you look at these symptoms or effects, it appears that these are just basic challenges that a normal person can experience. And so one should be able to just pull themselves out of it. Maybe they need to pray or take sleeping pills to remedy the situation. But once again, while a person can find relief, it's often temporary because the original injury or broken bone was never really healed, only adapted to. The difference is while some can grow out of their symptoms or find ways to cope with them, others become imprisoned by theirs. Who goes to the doctor when they're doing fine? So people might tend to think of themselves as inadequate to adjust to life, rather than understanding that they're doing very well adjusting to life given their handicap. Okay, let's look at it like this. If you have an unhealed broken bone in your leg and you run a marathon, even if you finish with one of the slowest times, the fact that you're even running in that marathon with your injury is an amazing achievement. The trouble is, you might be comparing yourself to others who came in with much better times than you, and that really isn't fair to you. What is fair is for you to address what is real in your life, make the necessary corrections, and then compete at the level that you were made to. Just as a running coach would analyze your technique and teach you ways to correct it and improve it, therapy can help you overcome barriers that might not even be apparent to you. So trauma is an issue that many people are living with, but can have some really serious, unrecognized, and misunderstood effects. Get some help and start healing today.